We were up nice and early at the airport, getting ready to head to St. Maarten for a week of celebration for our friend's wedding. Alright, we are here in the Miami International Airport. We have about a 2-hour, a little bit over 2-hour layover. So we just made ourselves comfortable, trying to see if there's any Wi-Fi, and just gonna hang out for a bit. So that's just about it. Then we have a 3-hour flight to Sint Maarten, and I'm ready to be there. It's now 10, so we're already 5 hours into this day, which is ridiculous, and have quite a few more to go. Me, myself, and I, at least give it a try. All right, guys, it's night 1. We're heading out to one of the neighboring bars to go meet our friends for karaoke.
Oh, sorry.
We're just walking through people, no fucks given. We're up here, we're at some point. We don't really know what the significance of this thing is, but it must be something because there's a bunch of people stopping here and walking up to it. Yeah, we have a scooter, so we're trying not to die on a scooter today. I'm gonna try to find a hike and hike to some natural pools. We'll see what happens. Wish us luck. Oh, that's pretty. Sometimes we're just ourselves and not with someone else. I had done some research and heard about a beautiful hike that was on the other side of the island. So off we went. Sometimes we're just ourselves and not with someone else. I see who you are tonight. I see who you are tonight. Maybe don't want your love. Don't want your love. Don't want your love. You can keep your heart. I see who you are tonight. I see who you are tonight. It was about an hour's hike to the natural pool, also known as Devil's Cup. The part of the story you're missing here is where the trail became so steep that at one point we were hanging off of the side of this ledge over rocky death, and it was probably the scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life. However, Devil's Cup was absolutely beautiful. It's actually hidden behind the rocks and you have to climb down to get to the pool. But once you're there and you get to see the waves crashing over the rocks, it really is an amazing sight and almost makes dying worth it. Almost. Around 6:30 a.m. I am dressed and we are going fishing this morning. So we have a charter booked with, I believe it's called TaylorMade Charters, TaylorMade Fishing, something like that. Hopefully they're legit and cool. And yeah, we're gonna hopefully catch some fish today. The wind was absolutely kicking that day. Luckily, we don't get seasick, but it was still pretty uncomfortable out there. After 3 hours and only a couple of barracudas, we ended up calling it quits on the charter early. It just wasn't worth getting beat by those waves the whole time. That evening, we were off for a sunset sail to celebrate the rest of the wedding guests finally arriving to the island. And of course, we had to watch as the planes land famously over Maho Beach. The next day, we headed over to Mullet Bay, which was admittedly a little touristy for our taste, but the water was absolutely beautiful, and it was so great to have my toes in the sand and enjoy a beautiful day at the beach. After only lasting about an hour at the beach, we decided that if we were going to be surrounded by people, we might as well do it back at the resort where the drinks are free. So back to the pool bar we went. That evening, our friends got married by the beach, and afterwards we celebrated with just a lot of stuff going on. The next morning, we were heading back to the States. After a rough time trying to get some lunch, and then having to arrive 3 hours early because the airport's so small, I wasn't exactly the happiest camper. We're at the airport. It's almost over. Eventually, we made it onto our flight and back home.